I said today here at the Imbizo Year 2 opening, the launch today, I spoke about the importance of ECD centers in that we find a lot of our homes are not the family units that ideally children should be growing up in. We find that lots of children then come to school and centers like this, and this is the one place where they actually feel like they're in a family, where they actually feel at home, where there's safety, where there's comfort, where there's food. You know, we know this in schools where kids come to school, and last night he saw his father beating his mother. He hasn't eaten in 2 days in certain instances. That girl doesn't have sanitary pads. She doesn't want to come to school because she knows she can't miss out its exams. Children are going through that. And so these centers, schools and even ECD centers, then become these places where kids aren't only nurtured, but they are nourished. They psychologized. It becomes a psychology center. Teachers are now forced to be psychologists, teachers, parents, nutritionists, psychologists. And that's very sad. And as I said earlier, I think government is not really assisting the parent or the home unit or places like this with some of the policies that they are passing. And there's this new thing of, children aren't meant to be disciplined, they'll find themselves, and we didn't grow up like that. I got whipped by my dad and my mum. In fact, when I came home and I told my mother that Auntie so-and-so hit me, she would hit me again. Then I had to go to Auntie so-and-so and apologize, because Auntie so-and-so wouldn't hit me for nothing. So the village was alive back then. It took a village to raise a child. That's an African saying. And that village is broken. So centers like these are vitally then important to teach children basic things that they should be learning at home. And sadly, they're not.
The curriculum we'll be doing, that I'll be teaching, comes from Clever Kids. And, it runs the course, literacy, numeracy, stimulation. We'll also be involved with, growing vegetables, getting the children involved in that. From there, we're getting them to see how the things grow, and then if all goes well, they'll also be involved in eating it. We'll be preparing it for them. So those are the things we want children to not only, sit in the class and learn. There's lots of other stimulation as well, such as they'll be doing the swimming lessons. We'll be getting them involved in a lot of practical work as well, not just sitting at the desk. Those are the kinds of things that you want the child to explore and not just sit in one place.
So I believe that it's very important for companies to be involved in projects like this that basically sets the future for our future leaders. It was absolutely a joy to be a part, and also build relationships. The buck doesn't end here. We'll be teaming up with this institution for years to come, and that's what it's all about.
We decided to open up Imbizo Year 2 Bambinos because we started off with the foundation, but we're realizing you need to become self-sustaining. So what we've done is we've gone the route of starting off the ECD so that we can generate a self-sustaining income to deal with the orphans. That's how Imbizo Bambinos came about. When we launched the foundation 10 years ago, we realized that the younger generation is left behind. There's all talk about all the fancy things and institutions that are all coming together. But when you look back at the youth, they're all involved in drugs. Children are dropping out of school. And we decided we need to start something to give back. Especially with our age, we felt we want to give back to the younger generation.
My opinion is, because centers like these exist, sometimes without government funding, because government is almost working, I'm not saying they're working against, some of the policies are working against what we are trying to do. So therefore it becomes vitally important when a center like this exists, or NGOs like ours exist, that corporates come on board. Every corporate has got to have a CSI, they've got CSI funding, they've got to have a CSI program. Here are organizations, NGOs, here are centers that aren't just, it's not just a feel-good thing. It's not just, oh no, our company can be associated with that brand, but our company can be associated with the work that that organization is doing. That is vitally important. It's your brand association. And so therefore, we understand centers like this cannot exist without a corporate sponsor. To have parents coming to do funding is one thing, but until corporates come on board and they assist, as Universal Paints have done with a tin of paint, with a small little check here and there and there and there, centers like these will never continue and be sustainable unless big business steps in and starts supporting.
For more stories like these, go to www.social-tv.co.za, subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on our social mediums.